Welcome back. Today I'm ranking Disney Channel sitcoms with my own criteria I made up in my head. It's my opinion. I'm not doing cartoons. I might do cartoons in a different one. It's just sitcoms. I feel like some of my opinions are a bit unpopular, maybe. Tell me what you disagree with, what you agree with, but at the end of the day, I feel what I feel. Okay, so there are 5 categories. Supreme is like top of the line. Not only do I have to watch this like religiously, but also it also has to be iconic, but like just on a different level. It's not going to be a lot of shows that get on the Supreme one. Iconic is like, even if I didn't watch it all the time, I can still give it its 10s, you know? So, and then Valid is like, it's a good show. Maybe it's not iconic, but I watched it. I like the show. Okay Girl is like, it's not a chop, but it's also not like necessarily my favorite. Like it's kind of mid. So I'm gonna just give you an okay girl because I don't want to give you a chop. A chop is like, girl, what the fuck is this? I feel bad because like they're kids when they made these shows, but like a chop is a chop. And some of these might be a chop just because I never cared to watch it or like it was after my time. Just being real. We just gonna get this out the way now. That's So Raven. Fucking Supreme. Y'all, when I tell you, not even from a biased perspective, like I've been watching this show since like my conception, pretty much. That was kind of weird, but like very early childhood memory. This show is just like iconic and it set the standard for every show that came after it. Like it's literally the first show to get to 4 seasons. Like who's doing that? And then the comedy, like it's probably one of the funniest shows on Disney Channel, like to this day. Okay, next, Wizards of Waverly Place. I don't know if I want to put this in Supreme or iconic. Just because it beat That's So Raven's record for most episodes. It got 106. Raven got 100. So I gotta put it in Supreme.
I don't believe this.
Lizzie McGuire. Okay. I'm not just gonna put something in Supreme because it's an older show. I'm gonna be real. It's iconic. But I didn't watch it that much. Like I definitely remember it. I think there were reruns when I was a kid, but like it also wasn't really funny. But it was a good show. We're gonna put it in Supreme. We're gonna put it in iconic. Hannah Montana. I already said Supreme is like exclusive and I'm trying to put everything in there. Honestly, Supreme, the music, man, like Shake It Up. I love Shake It Up Down. I love Zendaya. So, but I think I'm gonna have to go with iconic just because of how much I watched it, and it really is an iconic show. Like, come on, Corey in the House.
Yeah.
Now, I was a big fan of this show, but I don't know if it was like a fan favorite. Like, my personal opinion, I want to give it iconic, but I think I'm gonna have to go with Valid. But I watched it so much, and it was, you know what? I'm gonna put it in iconic just because of how funny it was. No. Okay, I think I'm gonna go with Valid. Lab Rats. Love Lab Rats. That show was hilarious. And like I also watched a little bit of Disney XD. I know that show people laugh and say it's for like boys who skateboard, but it has some good shows. Lab Rats is definitely valid. I kind of want to put Corey in the House, and I'm putting Corey in the House and iconic. That show was hilarious. Good Luck Charlie, valid. Not my favorite show, but it was good. Like if it was on, I watched it. I didn't switch channels if it came on. Even Stevens. Iconic just because it's iconic, but I definitely watched other shows more. Sweet Life, Zach and Cody, Supreme. Sweet Life on Deck. We're gonna go with I'm gonna put it in valid just because I really do prefer the old cast of Sweet Life of Zach and Cody, but I would argue that Sweet Life on Deck was funnier because they were older. but I don't know. I'm gonna put it in. That don't feel right. Like, it's definitely above Good Luck Charlie, so we're gonna go iconic. I'm actually gonna move Even Steven. No, Even Stevens was hilarious because of Beans. So I'm gonna Feel of the Future. I know it's iconic because it's old. I'm gonna go valid though. Sunny with the Chance, valid as hell. I love this show. Ant Farm, valid. You know what? I personally love this show, and I was obsessed with China McClain. Like, literally wanted to be her. And Zendaya, and Raven, like all the black girls on Disney. I think I gotta go with valid. But the music, though, like, she could really sing. And they made it seem like she played every instrument. Like, the whole premise of that show was, like, genius. Kicking It, I'm gonna go valid. Like, it was cool. Jessie, valid. Not iconic. I think Cameron Boyce and Sky Jackson carried this show. Definitely carried this show. Austin and Ally, I give it a okay, girl. Like, it was okay. I never really connected with that show. I don't know. Fight me. Casey Undercover, valid, but it was after my time, so I didn't watch it as much. I do love Zendaya though, so I could never give her a shot. Or okay, Shake It Up is like my show. Dog with the Blog, fucking Chop. I hated the way his arms were like this on the screen. Bitch, you are not typing.
Okay, so I forgot that dog like passed away. So rest in peace. I'm sorry I called you a bitch.
I want to say this. It is impressive as hell to me that she played two different characters the way she did, and she did a really good job at it. But I just didn't watch the show, so I'm gonna give it an okay, girl, because I don't go back to that show. When I want to go back to a Disney Channel, I don't go back to that show. Girl Meets World. Love Sabrina Carpenter. I love Dove Cameron too, so I feel bad giving her that, but like, I just didn't watch it. Girl Meets World. Every video I've seen of this show, I'm gonna be honest, has been against my will. Like,
I got both your wrists and I'm as strong as a horse. I don't even work at it, I just am.
And it's not for me. My Babysitter's a Vampire. Valid. I love this show. I don't know why it got canceled so early. I think it was too serious for Disney Channel, honestly. And it wasn't even serious, but it was like, you know, it wasn't like a happy show. There was no laugh track or nothing. So I feel like Disney fans just didn't know what to do with that show. So it kind of fell off. But it was like really good. Bizarre To this day, I don't know what the fuck this show is about. I'm so sorry to those kids. Well, they're adults now. Also, I didn't know Olivia Rodrigo started on that show. I thought she started on High School Musical. I actually forgot to add the High School Musical show on here. But yeah, I'm sorry. I gotta give it a chop because I don't know what the hell the show is about. I never really wanted to watch it. Pair of Kings, valid as hell. Like I said, Disney XD had a lot of good shows. This was one of them. Zeke and Luther, also valid. Love this show. It was funny. Like, it was very much a show for boys, and it was like boy humor. It really was. But I enjoyed this show. I thought it was cool. But it's definitely not iconic. Okay, I think this is Andy Mack. Chop. I'm sorry, girl. I don't know nothing about this show. This is after my time, honestly. So random. So random was so chaotic, and I live for it. Like, I love that show. To me, it was funny as hell. And then they had musical guests. It was like SNL for Disney fans. So I'm gonna give it a valid. And I'm just gonna look on this list and see, is there anything that I should like what would I move? Because I feel like it's kind of crazy to have some of these shows that are in the valid section all in the same section, but they're not necessarily iconic. I feel like I can't move Even Stevens because it's Even Stevens. But I don't know if... I didn't watch it as much as anything else on the iconic section. And then for Phil of the Future, I'm going to move that to iconic. I'm sorry. That show is iconic. I think I'm like content with my list. Like these 4 Supremes are like prime Disney, like mid 2000s, where I was like conscious and able to watch it. Like That's So Raven is my favorite, my personal favorite show on Disney Channel. And then Hannah Montana, just the phenomenon that show was. Like you have bitches in blonde wigs, sparkly ties and skirts and all that stuff. Like she was doing full-on concerts as a TV character. Wizards of Waverly Place goes without saying. Probably the dopest plot line of a Disney show ever, aside from Raven. Like, and it went on forever. Like, I think it still has the record. Yeah, people are gonna be mad at me about Lizzie McGuire, and I feel like it's because of nostalgia, but like, when you line this show up with these, it's not nearly as funny to me, but it's definitely iconic. But yeah, that's my list. Sorry to the bottom 4. I don't watch those shows and I never really cared to. So yeah. I think there was one more I wanted to put on here that I forgot. I think it was Bunked. Yeah, Bunked would be a chop because Jesse's just better. But yep, that's my list. Argue with the wall. No, but for real, like, let me know what y'all agreed with, what you would move around. Who's your Supreme? Like, who is your show? What's your show that you would say is like the best show on Disney Channel? And then what's your chop? Like, are any of mine that are Supreme or iconic or valid a chop for you? Like, let me know. Yeah, bye.